All right. Hey, welcome team. Hey, so today we're on week 7. Last week we talked about social media. This week we're talking about online marketing. And as I kind of got into this a little bit more, and delving into this online, because online marketing is this nebulous term. You know, what defines online marketing? What does it mean? Let's try to bring some definition to all of it. And so if you've got your worksheet there in front of you, you can see, it's really multimedia. It is this digital marketing, online marketing, digital marketing, kind of this synonymous with each other. Promotion of brands to connect with potential customers using the internet and other forms of digital communication. Now this means that this list of digital communication is truly pretty long, and it's ever changing. So email, social media, web-based advertising, text, multimedia messages is a marketing tool. What you're going to find is that when they say online marketing, there's no one solution. There's no one cookie cutter answer. So it's a matter of how do you pull things in and tie them together. But let's start and go, what are the benefits of digital marketing? Online marketing. Well, number one, it's got a really broad geographic reach. It's not tied to a subdivision. It's not tied to a town. So it doesn't have a geographic limit. So you can really grow this thing as big as you want. It's also more efficient when it comes to overhead. So overhead is less than traditional marketing. So when you talk about, you're going to spend $500 in digital marketing versus $500 toward print marketing, you're going to get more of a reach. You're going to get more of an impact on a digital, from a digital online marketing perspective. So the next thing is it's quantifiable. So we often talk about the newspapers. There are ways that you can determine ROI with a newspaper, and it really comes down to if you've got a QR code or some way to track a call to action from a newspaper, but that's pretty hard to do. Whereas in the digital world, in this online space, it's super easy to measure this. And then based off of that measurement, you can adjust, and you can actually adjust very quickly to what is working. Social Ad Engine is a perfect example of this. If you haven't used Social Ad Engine, I highly recommend you give it a whirl and try Social Ad Engine. But what they'll do is they'll A/B test 2 different ads on social or on Facebook. And then if their A ad is doing better than their B ad, they'll capitalize and they'll put more of your marketing dollars toward the A ad rather than the B ad. So and they can real time, they can adjust very quickly based off of what they're seeing. Online marketing allows you more connections. Okay. So really, and it comes down to communicating in real time with your customers. Digitally, we can communicate real time with our customers. You can create, as you put a post out there, and you hear these posts that say they've gone viral, right? Well, what does that mean? That there's been energy and buzz. So that, that's that buzz and energy around your product or service. So if you can get a post to go viral, if you can get a post to go that really takes off, guess what? There's energy that's created around there. People begin to know you. And because they know you, they like you. You're going to continue to hear this. They're going to know you, they're going to like you, and ultimately get you to that point of trust. When a customer interacts with you, you're starting to create this brand loyalty. So these people that make the effort to actually interact with you are now looking at you going, hey, you know what? We really like you, and we're going to stay loyal to that particular brand. All right. So that's the benefits. That's the benefits of digital marketing. Now, let's dumb this down a little bit, and let's go into some different pieces of online marketing. And we've got Carrie here. She's jumping on board right now. So Carrie, welcome aboard. We've just kind of gone through the benefits of digital marketing. And so now we're going to go into into really different types of digital online marketing. So the first one, let's talk about search engine optimization, right? And this is nothing more than how are you ranking higher in the numbers for your Google searches? I mean, that's just what it comes down to. When somebody says, best real estate agent in Grand Junction, whose name is popping up first? Well, there's an algorithm to get there. That's a search engine optimization. And that comes through quality content, the level of user engagement that's so the engagement of that person, mobile friendly. And then we talked about Google My Business. Now, what you'll notice is Google is constantly changing the algorithm. So having somebody staying up on that all the time is super beneficial. We've got that person. His name is Todd Simon, and he's constantly looking at the algorithms for Google My Business. Kelsey, are you there? Kelsey Heath, can you pop on real quick?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. So you've had incredible success with Google My Business recently. In your search engine optimization, you've bounced actually from pretty low on the rankings to one of the first one or two people when somebody Googles in, hey, best real estate agent in Grand Junction. How are you doing that?
I'm honestly treating it like a social media where I'm posting everything I've posted on Facebook, LinkedIn, anything I'm posting it on my Google business.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to keep up with it. I actually got a call today off of it, and it could be a really big potential listing. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it definitely is beneficial when you're just posting on it constantly. I've talked to Todd several times about it, so he's definitely helped me out. But yeah.
Yep. And so you are using content that you have produced or that you have built for other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you're just throwing it onto Google My Business. So it's not like you're reinventing anything for just Google My Business.
Yeah, like literally one of the posts was just a Mother's Day post, and I talked about my mom and have a picture with my mom since we worked together. So just simple little things like that, I think is fine too.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So, okay. So that's the search engine optimization. Once again, how through your efforts do you get to be higher ranking when somebody does a Google search for agents in your particular location? Okay. The next one is pay-per-click. This is nothing more than paid advertisement. An example of this is Adwords. It's a short-term type of online marketing. It only runs while you're paying for it. So, and you only pay for the results. So for example, if somebody clicks on it, then you pay for it, right? And so if nobody's clicking on it, you're not necessarily paying for it. But it goes back to if somebody's clicking on it, then you can also see that people are actually seeing your site that's out there. The next one, social media marketing. We talked about social media last week in depth, so I'm not going to go too much in depth on this one. But where social media pulls into the online marketing space is it allows you to have a discussion with people online. That's where, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, you can actually have an online discussion and interaction with them. So this is one of those things that is one piece of the whole digital marketing perspective. And so syncing it with all the other systems that are out there is a way. And we're going to go through a model, if you want to use a model that takes about 4 of these different online marketings pieces and puts them all together here at the end. The next one is content marketing. And this is use of storytelling, information to increase this brand awareness. So it's free. So when you provide this storytelling, when you provide this information, you want to provide it free to the customer. It's in the form of a written material. Okay. So, but at the end of each one of these, you really want the reader to take an action toward becoming your customer. So you're providing this information, you're providing it through a story, and then you're asking them to now be part of whatever you have going on. So this may be a blog post. You might do a white paper that you push out, ebooks. If you've got an ebook, digital videos, podcasts, really it becomes this, it's a really symbiosis with other types of digital marketing. So it's one piece, this symbiotic relationship with other types of digital marketing. Okay. You'll probably want, this is something that's going to be a little bit more long-term. And so you probably want to create a library of content. So in that, when we talked about long form video for YouTube, this would be a perfect place, linking some of this long form video into a library that's hung on your website. Okay, the next one, email marketing. Email marketing is all about creating these compelling campaigns, and these compelling campaigns to create a sense of urgency for the customer. So we have those within the company. We've got campaigns that are already built for you. Carrie and her team have built some amazing campaigns out there for you to use. And then this also, it's personalized within your email. So when somebody gets an email from you from one of these campaigns that the company has generated, guess what? It's branded to you. It's not branded just a general Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties, but it's actually got your brand name on it. Okay. The other thing about email marketing is you can do quite a bit of analyzation on these different emails. And so when we talk about open rate, how many people are actually opening the email, and then this idea of click-through rate. If you've asked them to connect with, let's say, hey, call to action is go to my website at www.cbdistinctive.com, whatever it is, and read my blog about X. That's okay. Are they clicking through, and are they going to your website, and then are they staying on your website and reading the blog that you've put out there? So that's click-through rate. Okay. The next one and the last one we're going to talk about is mobile marketing. And mobile marketing is how you are reaching your audience on their smartphone or tablet. So not just computer, but how are we reaching smartphone or tablet? And so this could be text. We actually, Back At You has a text feature that you can use. Social media, websites, email, mobile applications, but really, and it also has the ability to target a geographic location. So you could set this up that if somebody went, walked into a store, walked into a certain location, that they're going to get certain mobile marketing ads just based off of their particular location. And it's all targeted at coming in on their smartphone or tablet. Okay. So those are the different methods by which you can do online marketing. Carrie, I'm going to come to you here, and anything that I missed or anything you want to elaborate on what I just chatted about.
Two quick things came to mind. So first, when you're talking about the email marketing, another cool thing to know about sending emails through CBIQs, you can actually tell. So I'll show you, actually, I have an example right here. On your home screen, you can tell when someone's opened it, which is a really great then lead in to say, okay, so I see, Paula opened an email with the subject line. So I can follow up and say, hey, Paula, I saw you, saw this property. Do you have any questions? And it shows up right on your home screen of CBIQ. So that's one kind of nice thing about when you're sending out those email campaigns. You can really stay on top of who's opening it and who, and then you can follow up with those people and if they've seen your message, because you can see that they've opened it. And you can edit the same thing when they click on it. So you can see when they click the link as well. So that's one thing. And another thing is just, when you're thinking about, your search engine optimization, another thing to keep in mind is just having profiles on as many different sites and places as you can. So even if you don't plan to post on LinkedIn ever, have a profile there, have as many different profiles, Zillow, Realtor.com, all those, any sort of kind of directory website. You want to be in control of as much of the information that's showing up when someone Googles your name. So do a little test run, Google your name, see what comes up. And you want to have as much as possible that you're in control of. So that's social media platforms. That's and Todd Simon's got a whole list of other websites that you can sign up for accounts on, just so you're having kind of control over what's showing up. So it's not just this random information that doesn't have anything to do with you showing up. So just be in control of as much as you can. Google yourself and see what comes up, and create those profiles to make sure you're showing up consistently across the internet. Really
good. Okay, thank you. So let me go back to say online marketing can get really big and really really complex. So we're gonna kind of work through a particular way that you can put all this stuff together here in just a minute. But I think what the big highlight here is that it's trackable and it's measurable. So it's not like sending, random flyers out and hoping that you're going to get some kind of feedback. This is real-time feedback that you can get. So ideas for tracking and measuring: use of a coupon or a QR code. We have the ability to do a QR code. That QR code could link somebody directly to your website. So now somebody's going on doing the QR code and then looking directly at wherever you have sent them. So when we talk about open rate, click-through rate, that's the beauty of a QR code. Carrie talked about number of clicks on a link, time spent on a web page, number of emails opened. All of those pieces all run together, and you can see what's working and what's not working. And then use of Google Analytics. And I'm not going to purport to be a Google Analytics smart guy, but that's why we've got Carrie and Todd to go, hey, listen, let's look at the Google Analytics. Let's see what's working. Let's see what's not working. Guess what? You're going to have a whole bunch of posts that are going to be lemons. They're going to be donkeys, right? In fact, there's donkeys and unicorns, and every now and then you'll get a great post. You'll get and we call them unicorns, and that's something that you're going to want to capitalize on over and over and over again. But most of them are going to be donkeys. They're just going to fall. They're really not going to go anywhere. So don't worry about those. Keep pressing. Keep consistent with your marketing. Keep consistent with your posting, because every now and then you're going to get a great unicorn, and those things are going to take off and help you out quite a bit. Okay. Why is all of this important? What does all of this mean? It goes back to the KLT principle. Customers get to know you, they get to like you, and ultimately they raise their hand because they trust you to hire you to either help them find a house or help them sell their house. So that's what it all comes back, all comes down to. So with that said, let's go to a practical application. And this is I took and I put 4 steps together here, four different pieces of online marketing that all tie together. Okay. And the first one starts with Google My Business. So utilize Google My Business to be at the top of all your Google, at the top of the Google searches. So when somebody comes in and goes, hey, who's the best real estate agent in Grand Junction, Colorado? Guess what? Your name's going to pop up. Now, because your name has popped up, Google My Business, that you've worked the analytics, that becomes the first thing that people see. At that point, what do people do? They're going to go and read your reviews. Okay, so now you're going to have some great reviews on your Google business page. And now they want to go check you out because they want to see what kind of person you are. So where are they going next? They're going to go to social media. They're going to go to Facebook. They're going to go to Instagram. And if you're on Facebook and Instagram and you've created a presence there and you become engaging, your posts that are engaging, that means people are now going to want to interact with you online. Let's say you've got some call to actions within that social media presence that may say, hey, you know what? I want you to join my email list to get the latest and greatest. Join my email list to get what's going on in our market. Join my, go to this website, read my blog that talks about where we're at in the market. And so what that will drive people to do is now engage or interact with your website. All right. And I kind of let me just jump to the website here. but this website that you're putting on is got, you're creating value that's very relevant about, and have relevant content on your site to what's going on in the neighborhood or in your market. Now, if you go back on social media and go, hey, I want you to sign up for my weekly email, guess what? Now you sending a constant email to all of your customers that says, hey, here's what's going on. What that does is it instills incredible confidence in your abilities. And so this confidence in your abilities now leads to an increase in the trust factor. So if we put it, so let me just recap. People are going to Google, they're searching, they're finding your name. That name takes them to social media because people want to see who you are on social media, what kind of person you are. You're engaging, you're interacting on social media. You've got some call to actions there that direct customers to, let's say, either your email or your landing page. Now you're providing them content through email. Monthly email that's growing their confidence in you. And then you've got a strong website where you've got relevant information that they know that they can go to. All of that creates an era of them knowing you, liking you, and then trusting you. And you may not have even seen them face to face. But because you put all this stuff together, they've walked that KLT principle with you. Okay. Did everybody catch that? Did all that make sense? Does this take work? Yes, it does. Does this take time to stick with it all the time? Yes, it does. If this is, once again, this is a lead source for you. So if you want this to be one of your lead sources, you just got to know that this is how you're going to step into this, and you're going to run across all these different platforms to create this brand awareness. So let's go now to the next section. What is success equals, or what's going to make you successful? Okay. Number one, showing up consistent. You can't just do this for a week and then pop off for a month and pop back on for another week. Kelsey's probably as she's talked about growing her business on Google My Business, it's because she's stepped in there. She's been consistent every step of the way. Be relevant. So what is that relevant content? It could be market content. It could be events happening within your particular, within your town. It could be nonprofits. It could be food. It could be, you name it, you pick it. Katie, like you said, that trail running, right? You know, all the trails. That could be but you're staying consistent. You're showing up every day, every week, sharing some kind of content. And that's what people want to see. Okay. You're providing value. That's an obvious one. And I put in here, single message delivered on multiple platforms. Okay. Now that message may be shifting based off of what the market data is telling you. But if you're single, I'm going to come back to Katie, you're a trail runner, right? So if your consistent message is you're showing up and saying, hey, I'm the trail runner, I love to trail run. And let me just show you the new one, new trail this week. That's what I mean by single message. You become a singular focused person. So you're not trying to chase every demographic out there. You're building your tribe, and that tribe gets a consistent single message from you. Okay. And then the last one is utilize the tools that we have. Back at You has got a ton of tools on it. Like Carrie had just mentioned, you can see who's opening the emails, the campaigns that you set out there. Base Social, you set that up. It's a fix it and forget it type of system where they will constantly, Back at You will constantly post to your different social medias. Email campaigns. So if you've got a once a week email that says, hey, here's what the market's all about, blah, 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 and you send it out and you keep it really short and sweet. remind me to come back to a couple tips on email. But if you're showing up every week with just a quick note on market or information about your area, people start to get used to that. People start to look for and see those emails. If you sign up with guys like Craig Ballantyne or Sharon Srivatsa or any of these, I'm trying to think of who else, Tony Robbins. Once you sign up for them, once they get your email, what happens? You get bombarded with emails over and over and over and over and over again. But you know what? I don't delete them because there's some great content in all those, but they're constantly providing that information out to you. And you're absorbing that. Clients want that. They look for that. They expect that. And if they hear that from you consistently, you will walk them along that know, like, and trust. Okay. And then when it comes to your website, having that good solid website we talked about, landing page, lead capture abilities, that there are ways to do that. And Carrie and Todd Simon can set those up for you so you can lead capture based off of what you're asking somebody to do on your website. So, Carrie, anything you want to add?
No, I think that's a good summary of kind of some of the different things. Remember, you have your website through CBIQ, or Kelsey is just a little bit different, but still, an agent website that we were able to generate, create lead capture options through. And then we do also have a blogging feature built into that. So if that's something you want to focus on as a way to drive people to your website, that's included as an option, as well as something that is really easy for you to add. So I would just say kind of pick the areas that you're able to add value, that you enjoy adding value in, whether it's a blog or a podcast or video series. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it consistently.
Right.
So find what works for you. You can't do everything. It's you got to pick the ones that you like best, the ones that work for you, and run with those. That's it's going to be too overwhelming if you try to tackle everything at once.
Right. Okay. Good. Once again, it's multifaceted. Everything syncs together. There's a symbiotic relationship with all of this stuff. And it can be an effective lead source if this is what you want to focus some time and energy every week on. So, let's go back to the funnel. We built this funnel. We talked about where these lead sources are coming from. What the first one is our sphere of influence. If you want to do social media, if you want to do online, if you do online, then let's generate some time and energy toward what online looks like. Let's allocate some time, maybe 1 to 2 hours a week, to maybe building a campaign email. Maybe it's developing a series of posts that you want to post over the course of a week. That's got some great content, some great relevance. But if you put a couple hours into it every week, this could be a super effective way to engage with your customers and generate business. So, all right, that is online marketing in a nutshell. What questions do you have? What's some takeaways? Nick, you just popped back on. I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah, I think one of the things I didn't really realize is just how much they all connect. It's not just over here or over there. 1 week I'll focus on this, 1 week I'll focus on that, and paring them down to something that I can do something in each box every week. That was a big shift for me. So that helped.
Good. Thank you. All right. Dawn. Is she there?
Yes.
Yeah. What's a good takeaway here?
Staying consistent, and not necessarily reinventing the wheel. You can use the content on a variety of platforms, the same content as Kelsey shared with us. So
right. Okay.
I'm just social media illiterate. So I am I'm my own worst enemy for getting started on. I do have a Google My Business and Instagram and a LinkedIn, but I'm my own worst enemy for getting started on it.
Okay.
I have been door knocking and have lots of success. So just afraid to try the social media thing.
Okay. And you know what? That's okay. Like I said, this is a lead source. And if this is not the lead source for you, that's okay. But if you want to tackle into this lead source, let's set up a plan and let's do it the right way. So Don, if you want to take this to the next level, this is where I'd be, calling Carrie, calling Todd, getting on and really building a plan. I think if you just did those 4 things that I kind of tied in together, you definitely have the ability to create a brand over time. So Carrie,
Agreed.
question for you. If, based off of those kind of the 4 steps that I just walked through, do you have a sense of how long it takes for that, if they stay consistent for a month or 2 months or 3 months, is there any metric that says, hey, I need to stick with it for this long in order to start reaping some benefits?
That's a tough one. It's different for everyone. There's not really a set time frame. However, I would say, back on your point of the analytics, you can really see right away what's working. So if you're trying something, say you want to give blogging a try, and you try, blogging for 2 weeks and you post a blog, twice a week. You can go in and see how many people is that driving to your website. You can get very specific as to what's working. You can see exactly how many people saw your Google business profile. So if you're working on that and you really want a great Google business profile, you can go in and say, okay, well, only, a handful of people saw it this week, and then, work with us to figure out what you need to do to get more people to see it. So I can't really say a specific time frame, but you can go in and really every step of the way be knowing what's working, what's not working, and adjusting to make sure that it works.
Okay.
So I would say as long as you are, consistently, working at it and checking to see what's working and adjusting. And, like I said, marketing teams here to help you with all of that. But that would be just, make sure that you're not continuing to do something that isn't having the results you want, because it's so easy to see, and really all of these platforms, if something's working.
Okay. All right, good. And I think Kelsey just stepped away for a minute. I'm curious to see how long it took her to go from bottom of the, bottom down on the Google up to like that number 1 or number 2 spot. So when she gets back, we'll make sure we ask that question. Lainey, how about you? Any takeaways?
I think I'm really just trying to figure out which one works for me.
Okay.
Because I know, and then just, I guess, being consistent on that one. I did meet with Todd a couple months ago.
Okay.
And I just scheduled to meet with him again next week to hopefully get that going again. So
good. Okay, perfect. Kelsey, question for you. How long, when you really dove into Google My Business and started really focusing on that, how long did it take you to go from from when you started up to that number 1, number 2 spot?
That's hard to say. I don't know if I really have a timeline. I honestly feel like the last couple of months has been like a year. So I don't,
Okay.
It's hard to say, but I think it wasn't that long. Like, I think I only put really a month's work into it. It was a lot quicker than any other social media I've ever used. Cause I'm obviously, like, I've done social media my whole life. So,
Right.
I think it was just a lot quicker. I think I can look up, I'm looking at it right now to see if I can. My performance has actually gone down for the last 30 days, but I started it in May. Earlier. No, I started it earlier than that.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into it. If I can find an answer, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But we're talking just a couple of months.
I don't think it took that long. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking 6 months or a year. We're only talking, 60 to 90 days. And she boosted her performance quite a bit. So good stuff. Catherine, are you there? Catherine Hamilton. Nope. Stephanie, give me some takeaways.
I am having good luck with utilizing the tools that Coldwell Banker provides, especially the client bay and like the campaigns, the marketing campaigns that are set up in the in there. And it's really kind of fun to see like who's opening my emails that I'm sending out and stuff. So, and then I know who maybe I can, reach out to and reinforce what I just sent them. So I just thought that was interesting.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Jolene. She on? How about Nicole? Are you there? Nicole Bergen.
I'm here. Sorry, I just need to unmute myself.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
My favorite thing about this one was definitely the QR codes. It's something that I'm looking into just for ordering them with my business cards and having it on there. Because I think it's really powerful to have that, even though a lot of people might throw it away. They might take the second thought to scan your QR code and save your contact information.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And we just had an agent here in our office. She ordered business cards for her listing. I think she got like 50 or 75 business cards, and each one of those had a QR code in them. And so she was off to do door knocking and pass that business card out to say, hey, listen, here's in your neighborhood, here's your new neighbor, here's, and if you flip it around, here's all the details. Here's a QR code, just flip it around here. So, which took it to her website, that for that particular listing, but yet it was branded for her. So, all right, good.
I do know someone that ordered magnets and did the QR code because people are not as likely to throw it away, might just put it on their fridge in that way.
Right. Perfect. So, I call that, if we remember, we talked about having an evergreen effect, because it'll stick around a lot longer than just a piece of paper. So that's a great thing. Good. All right. Let me see. Katie, anything?
I just wanted to throw out that I met with Todd Simon yesterday also, and he said that the Bozeman office is really like everyone's meeting with them. So I think that's really good. Go Bozeman. Also, just talking about the Google My Business, I looked on there, and if you look at Bozeman Realtor, there's over 200.
Okay.
And only those few pop up. So it really, if you're not at the top, then you're just not even on there.
Right.
Really.
Right.
So just the importance of doing all this.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Good. All right. Any Peggy Lou, anything?
Yes, I have a question under the mobile marketing. It says text at back at you. You mentioned back at you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that, it's hard to get their emails, because they think they're going to get a million emails. A lot of people, they'll say, oh, I haven't checked my email in a week, this and that. But if I text them, they text me right back.
Right.
So with the mobile marketing, I guess I don't know what they have it back at you for texting.
Yeah. Carrie, you want to talk that piece?
Yeah, sure. So it's not included in this, like in your current back at you plan. It's an extra $5 a month subscription that you add on to get your own phone number through back at you. And with that, you're able to, similar to the email platform within CBIQ, you're able to also send texts.
Yeah.
So it would be an additional, something you would add on to your platform to be able to send texts through CBIQ.
So
Okay.
Peggy Lou, you get, well, I know you do, you get the text from the company saying, hey, don't forget Focus Friday,
Right.
so-and-so is showing up and blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same principle there. You can
Okay.
go, you get a special text numbers and back at you. Yes, it's an additional $5 a month, which is cheap, right?
That is cheap. Is it unlimited?
I think so, Carrie. So,
Yeah, there's a limit as to the group of people that you can send a text to at once. And I would have to double check as to what that limit is. And same with the email, you can't send an email to more than, I believe it's 100 people, which is same as Gmail and all of that, it goes to spam.
Mhm.
Right.
So there are those types of limitations, but not as far as number of texts that you can send per month, as far as I'm aware of.
Right. So depending on how you set up your categories, you could easily do, send, 50, 100 people a quick text that says, hey, Peggy Lou here. Hey, check out my blog at www.peggylourealtor.com. I talk about, to learn more about the current market.
Okay.
right? So, and then you include the link to your website in that text. Now, all they have to do is go click that link and go to your, and they're now spending time on your website. They're getting to know you. They're getting to know what, you know, the content, that relevant content that you're pushing out.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So it doesn't text your phone number. It's that, whatever that automated phone number that you get assigned.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions out there?
I have a question. This is Shelby.
Yeah, Shelby.
I was wondering, for anybody who would know, it's just a Google My Business question. Do you think that you have to have a lot of reviews to rank high in that search? Are reviews very important?
Kelsey, you're
Certainly.
shaking your head.
Yes, they're very important. I think the more reviews you get, the higher you get on it. So I honestly had like my family members and people that I have had any kind of interaction with. I sent it to them, which can be bad for me because I'm also a property manager. So tenants can be kind of mean sometimes. So I try to send it to everybody, but I just try not to send it to people that might hate me.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. So I feel like I heard that if they have like the same last name as you, so like family members, does that even pop up as a review?
It does. I mean, my mom
Okay.
works with me, so she still put it on there, and my sister does. I mean, both my sisters are married, so they both put different last names, I think. So that kind of helped, but it still pops up and it still helps. I think anything
Okay.
helps.
Cool, thank
And
you.
it'll slowly go away. I think people just see like you have 10 reviews, so that's all they really care about. Not everybody goes in there and reads all the reviews.
Okay.
So Katie, I'm going to come to you in just a sec. Shelby, now if you take if you take this texting feature that Back at You has and send a text to, call it all your past clients, or
Sure.
you know, all your peeps on a particular, and say, hey, would really appreciate a 5-star review. Click here and leave me a 5-star review and be entered in to win a free gift card to restaurant, downtown restaurant, something or other along those lines. So that's a way that you can pull these platforms or these systems all together to increase the number of the reviews you have.
Awesome. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Katie, question.
Oh, I was just going to say, for some of those that are of us that are brand new, that don't really have any real estate experience, Todd was saying that you can get just character reviews, like from anyone you've worked with in the past. She's really hardworking and she does this and this, and that would be good, because I was thinking, oh, well, I haven't sold any houses, so I guess I can't have any reviews. But
Right.
He was saying get something like that.
Okay. So when it comes to reviews, yes, absolutely. 100%. When it comes to reviews, people will ask you, hey, so what do you want me to put on the review? The advice that I've always been given is for the person writing the review, write it as if if I'm Jimmy writing a review for Katie, I'm going to write it as if I am telling Bob all about Katie. Right. So I'm going to write on, it says, Katie was amazing, amazing person, great hard work ethic. I highly recommend her to help you buy your next home, period. Something along those lines. 5 stars. Good. So it's really as if they're making the recommendation face-to-face to somebody who's whoever the reader is. Okay. So that's one technique. Let's go to email for just a second. If you do choose to do an email and to do, start a weekly email, Sharon Srivatsa, if you're not following him, I definitely, go and follow him. He writes his emails as if he's writing them to a buddy. He doesn't go on and go, hey, Jimmy Klager here, Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. The purpose of this email is to tell you about the current market, and then, go into the market. That kills the whole vibe. He writes it as if, hey, Jimmy, the market is here. Here's what I just want to catch you up on the market. Here's what it's doing. there's these 3 things, do. Here's where I think it's going. Something super simple, something that as if I'm, he actually doesn't put a signature block on it. He just signs it Sharon and off he goes. He gets more traction when they're almost personalized, or they feel more personal rather than a form email. So if you guys do decide to jump into the email world, that's something that's a way to write your email. He uses lots of spaces, lots of short sentences, short paragraphs. Paragraphs are no more than probably 2 sentences, maybe 3 sentences at the most. And then, maybe even 1 sentence paragraphs and lots of space in there. It's a quick, easy read, no more than 250, probably 250, 300 words at max. Get to your point, in and out, nice, just down and dirty, get it done, and get it out. So there you go. All right. What other questions? These are good questions or comments. All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to yield back 5 minutes of your time and you guys go be rock stars. Carrie, thanks for jumping on today. Appreciate your words of wisdom, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Guys. Thanks,
Yep.
Gary.
Thank you.
Take care.